Hey guys, welcome back. So for this video, we're going to start off by making a little adjustment on the sawmill here. And what that is here at the end of the track, this last log bunk here is actually farther out than what the mill can cut. So it maxes out at 10 foot 5 inches, which comes to about in here. Which means that you've got this probably, I don't know, 2.5, 3 foot section that's just suspended in air here. And what's happening is I'm getting a little bit of a taper at the end of the boards where it's thicker, and I think it's because the boards are kind of drooping down a little bit at the end. So what I'm going to try doing is taking this one off from in the end and moving it here into the middle and seeing if that doesn't correct this problem. Okay, so I got them all trimmed down in both directions, and this seemed to work pretty good. They're pretty spot on. I mean, a couple of them are a little bit off just because they got kind of messed up when I was cutting the other day, but for the most part they're pretty good. And moving this one in seemed to work pretty well. There's still maybe a foot that's hanging off the other end of here if you got it maxed out at the 10 foot 5 inch, but this helped a lot, and it seemed to get them pretty well squared up. Also, something I didn't show in the video is that I actually put a couple spacers, a couple washers in here as spacers, because these other ones that the logs are on have this stainless steel plate on it, and this one doesn't. So I don't have an exact plan like written down for how I want to build this, but I've got a pretty good idea up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is these two boards right here that came out, they've got a lot of what you call wane, which means they got a lot of bark and stuff on them. So I'm going to cut these down to 2x3s and see if I can't get some usable 2x3s out of them. Okay, here we go. So these right here are the 2x3s that I cut, and they're my cross pieces for kind of the main bottom sled, I guess you could call it, of the little portable pig pen. And that way there's an inch gap or so underneath these 2x3s so that when it's dragging like this, hopefully these won't catch on inconsistencies in the ground. So hopefully that'll help with that. I also cut up some into 2x2s, which could be kind of interesting. Hopefully the locust won't twist and warp too terribly bad. So hopefully these will work for the kind of the rest of the frame of this little pin. And there we go. So all the rest of this frame is built out of 2x2s. I went with that instead just to make it a little bit lighter. That way it'll be easy enough, it'll be light enough to be able to drag it without too much difficulty, especially if you're going up a hill or something. So it's a little bit lighter on the construction side of it, but I think it ought to hold up just fine. So the next step is to take off the tarp that's on the current pig pen. It's made out of pallets. I'll take that off and then I'll hook it onto here and cover all the sides except for this area right in here, which is the doorway. And then hook a rope to it to be able to pull it with at one end, and it'll be done. Okay guys, it's been about 2 or 3 weeks now since I built the portable pig pen, and it is now out in the pasture. As you can see, I drilled the holes in the skid, so I got a rope through it so I can tug it around, and I've got 8 different paddocks out through here now that I can rotate the pigs through, and it's working pretty darn well. That's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. What are you doing? Huh? Hmm?